right, we gotta fix that. Okay, hello everyone, Paul here from Classic Motor Works, and you may have just seen a video that I spliced together in this where I went, whoa! So one of the things that this car is in for is the AC was not working. Well, I think what the real problem is it is working, but perhaps the belt was slipping when they noticed it wasn't working. If that makes sense. Okay, if you're following with me, let's continue. So the compressor is working, it has a charge. I checked on the inside, the temperature on the door panel, which was, the door was open, versus the temperature inside the vent. We're about 20 degrees cooler in the vent, which is right around where we want it to be. We want it to be roughly around 20 degrees cooler coming out of the vents of the car than the outside temperature, okay? So that seemed to be working fine. But when I just happened to come around, I noticed that belt flopping like crazy. So I'm thinking maybe, and this is the thing where I just don't know, is the customer at the time, maybe they were under load, or they were accelerating or something, and maybe the belt was slipping, possibly, okay? Because that was definitely jumping more than we would want. Now, here's what's odd about this. I came over here and I pressed on the belt, and it might have a little bit, but it's not as bad as what I thought it would be, considering what I saw in the video where it was jumping around like crazy. So you want a little bit of give, but this was unusual that it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So that makes me then think, well, a couple of things. Something maybe really simple, belt size perhaps, but looking at the belt around here, it looks good. Now around here it is a little deep, so what I'm guessing and looking at this, because we actually have a, oh, you know what? That could have been one of our other problems. This just popped right off of my hand. I just wasn't intending to actually take it off. So that could be one of the other problems, okay? So we're gonna address a couple of things. So we need to make sure that that is on tight. Okay, we're gonna come back and fix this a little bit. We're gonna tighten those down with a pair of pliers, so we have a nice tight grip on that. Okay. That might have actually been the problem. It could be. However, this belt flapping thing is a little concerning to me. So anyways, back to my what I was talking about, the belt size. I'm looking at the belt here, and I'm pretty sure this is obviously a new compressor is put on. I mean, we actually have a sticker that looks new, and this is a 81 El Camino. That's too new to be an original compressor, and it just looks nice. So probably what's going on here is we got a belt that the belt is good on the rest of the engine with the original pulleys, but we are a little bit, really should have a larger pulley, I would think, or excuse me, a larger belt for this particular pulley. So we got different size pulleys. Okay, so we got to work with what we got here though. So I'm thinking what we'll do, it's a little loose. Yes, it is a little loose. So we're gonna go ahead and try to tighten this up a little bit. Now, this is an 81 El Camino. If you're doing this on a different vehicle, it's gonna be slightly different perhaps, but the overall general idea is going to be the same for tightening up this one. Now, some vehicles have belt tensioners, okay? It's the same idea, but to tension our belt on this one actually is the AC compressor itself. You can see we have one bolt here, we have one bolt on the back, and there is one more back behind here that we're going to loosen up, pull the compressor this way, and then tighten it up. Now, the reason I have the Sharpie, okay? Here's the reason why. you may say to yourself when you go to do this, oh, I'll remember where it was. Okay, listen. No, you won't. Oh, you know what? Looking at this more closely, I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to see it, but I can see a wear mark right here where that nut, that bolt, was all the way up here at one point. You can see it. So, this is obviously not the same compressor, which we've already established, but it's also saying that this at one point was kicked all the way over quite a bit. A lot of interesting things we're observing here. Okay, anyways, back to this. So what I want to do is I'm going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to mark. Of course, I'm doing it on dirt, right? So let's do this on a different spot that I can actually see it later. And I got it marked on the back side, but let's try a paint pen. Sharpies are okay, but paint pens are better. So we got our paint pen in hand, Amazon. Tire marker / paint pen, it's the same thing. Let's wipe this off a little bit here. A Sharpie probably would have had a better chance if I had wiped it off originally, but we're jumping straight to the paint pen. All right, so let's go and put a little mark right here. Oh, that's much better now. Okay, so I've got my mark, and now I know we definitely don't want to go any further back than that. Okay, so with that set, we're going to have a ratchet with an 18mm socket. For this one, it could be different for yours. And we're just going to start by loosening up a few things, okay? We're not going to worry about keeping tension on anything at this point. All right. We're going to give it one ooga ooga. There we go. An ooga ooga, 2 ooga oogas, 3 ooga oogas, until you feel like you got the right amount of oogas. Okay. So let's go on the back side now. Same thing. Find the amount of oogas that you need. We're gonna snug this just a turn so I can get in here. No, maybe not. No, we cannot. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go get an extension. Put an extension on that. Okay, we're back, and now that we have our extension, we're going to move to the back side and loosen this up with a couple of oogas. Here, now we can clear valve cover, bolts hold it down. A couple of oogas, loosening that up, and then there should be one more. Loose yet? Nope. That's okay. That's all right. I'm panicky. One right here. Okay. And let's loosen this one up. Ooga ooga, ooga ooga, ooga ooga ooga. All right. Now, let's see if we're loose yet. Just grab it and. Ooh, she's a little warm. Engine was just running a minute ago. Okay, loose. Loose. I can turn all those by hand, checking for anything that's been missed. No, that should be it. So here's what we're going to do. Just happen to have a breaker bar here. If you have a spot like this, it could also be perhaps on your belt tensioner. You can use a ratchet, but I just happen to have a breaker bar. I just want to make sure this is breaking loose, and yes, it is. Okay, so we can see we went past our mark. And everything's good. So this is why you want 2 of them. I'm going to stand on the driver's side. I'm going to pull this back, okay? Oh, look at there. Now, I'm not even holding tension on it, okay? And we're past our mark, right? Normally, you got to at least hold that a little bit. But we have already tightened that up quite a bit. And I'm not even putting tension on that. But what I am going to do, for those of you following at home, following along at home, I'm going to at least hold that, not pull it anymore because I think that's quite a bit. I'm going to first come over here, 3 hands. 3 hands? No, not 3 hands. We only got 2 hands. And we're going to tighten up those 3 bolts. Snug it with the fingers. Come back here now. I'm going to hold this, not pulling it really tight, but just keeping it where it's at, so that when I go to tighten up the other 3 bolts, it doesn't come loose on this, okay? Take this one up, since I've got the ratchet with the extension. Ooga ooga. We can go back and torque this stuff after we get everything where we want it. But for now, let's get it in place at least, okay? Alright. We're not going to do torquing on the video because that's a waste of time. I want you to see the process. That's what the video is for, the process. Go back and torque later off camera. Okay. Come back on the other side on the front. Checking my white mark. Looking good. Still. Take off the extension. Oh. Just get yourself an old cheap blanket of some sort. Protect your ride, okay? You're going to lean up against it. You're going to have tools everywhere. Protect your car. If you're nice to your car will be nice to you. That's a bumper sticker you should have out there. More people should know that. Right along with a bumper sticker that gives all the directions on how to drive. But we're not going to get into a political world on how to drive. Not today. That'll be a Christmas special. Okay. I got that pretty nice and snug. We should be good to go. Alright, I'm going to get everything battened down. And we'll come back in a few minutes and check that. See if it's or if it's. Those are the technical terms. What's that? You want some bonus information that you should check on your ride? You might be having AC problems. Checking these connectors, okay? Make sure you have a good connection. It's not bad, okay? I see bad connections. What is basic sandpaper? Yes. Okay, let's clean this. We're going to take our upper radiator hose and use this as a workbench for a minute. Can you see that on the camera? Just the difference between that one and that one? Well, yes, you can. That's right. Look at that. Nice and clean, okay? But we're not done with this. We're gonna do something else. Clean this one too. Now take note, this is purple. There's a purple mark on there. Someone already did that for me. How nice of them. You know what I should do? Repay them. And what I really mean by repay them is, let's repay the next guy who's got to work on this. So this is gonna be a white mark here, because I'm about to take that purple mark off. Why they actually stuck it on the terminal itself is, yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, so I'm going to mark the blue. I don't know if you can see that. Not the actual terminal, but just the terminal housing. I'll put a mark here. It should face that way, however, comma. It is possible to put that on backwards. That would be what we call it. So now that we have the first one clean, let's go ahead and clean the other one. Take your sandpaper, fold, fold, clean, cleaning. This is a wiring harness rebuild right here. Complete wiring harness rebuild. Okay, so now we got that cleaned. It's much better than what it was. Now let's talk about the actual wiring harness itself for a minute. So I want to look at this carefully. I know you're not going to be able to see it on the camera. I'm going to test to make sure this is going to go on the way I think it goes on. I believe it's going on what I'm going to call the back side. Memory serves me correctly. Let's glance. And it does. Okay. I just want to triple check that before I do this. Make sure I'm going to do this correctly. We're going to take this pick. I'm going to take that. And if you remember, originally, how it just popped off. It was super loose. What we're going to do is take this pick. And we're going to very carefully, basically we're going to try to take the bottom end here on both sides and pull it this way so there's more pressure against those terminals. We have a better connection, it won't fall off. Stay on there. Now, we do have to be gentle-ish. We're gonna put an ish on that side there. All right, that one looks a little bit better. Okay, and then what I can do, because I did the one side but not the other yet, I can compare the gap between the top to the plastic housing, and I can see that this is higher than this one. So now we're going to do the same thing to this side and try to make sure it matches at least this. I'll pull this side up just a hair more. There we go. Now we're talking. Okay. Another thing you could do is actually we could pop that entire piece out, raise it, and then put it back in. So that's also a possibility. There's so many ways you could do this. You could buy a new one and you could solder it on. That's another way to do it. So many different ways. So many possibilities. Okay, it's starting to look a little bit better. Come here on the side. Oh, so much better. So much better. So let's go back here now. Our white lines are lining up, so we know we're putting everything on correctly. We're gonna go like this. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Oh no, we're not. I thought we were. Let's triple check we're doing this correctly. There we go. You know that satisfying snap sound? That's what we just had right there. Pulling up. It's not coming off. There we go. And now we know we got a good connection. Okay. I think it's time to go ahead and start this and see if our belt flaps like crazy. It's nice when it's the little things that can fix stuff, right? Let's move all of our tools off to the side. Remove our blanket so that doesn't get sucked into the fan belt. That'd be fun, right? Go! Go! Definitely still has a little wobble, but nothing like what it was. That's actually livable. I'm not going to compare that side to this side. There's a little bit here, but it's nothing as bad as it once was. Very good. Let's go check our temperature inside again, shall we? Shall we go? Would you like to come with me? All right, well, let's go this way then. Do we know where our temperature gauge is? Of course not, no. No. Oh, before we do that though, just for my people, you hear the sound? That's for my people right there. You're welcome. Okay. Let's take a look at what we got going on here. So the door is obviously open, door's been hanging open. Let's just hit the door once and get a temperature reading off of our little laser light thing, and we got 81.6. Now we want to have roughly about 20 degrees is what we're shooting for, okay? So let's say like 60 something would be great. Anything cooler would be wonderful too. We're gonna shoot it right into the back of the vents. And fingers crossed. Oh my goodness, what do you know? I said roughly about 20 degrees difference, didn't I? Yeah, I did. All right. Well, hey, I think we got it fixed for now. Things are looking good. If you need anything fixed, be sure to give us a call. Classic Motorworks, shoot us an email, paul@classicmotorworksflorida.com, and check our website, www.classicmotorworksflorida.com. Until next time, Martha says, catch you later.